Welcome to the Overthinker's Guide to Modern Marketing, or as we like to call it,
How to sell a sandwich without accidentally starting a cult.
Welcome back to the Overthinker's Guide to Modern Marketing, the podcast that still can't promise wisdom, but will happily provide the warm, fuzzy illusion that you're moments away from decoding the secret language of conversion rate. I'm your host, Makin, a man who has spent an unreasonable portion of his life contemplating whether brand loyalty is earned or simply the result of people forgetting their login details elsewhere. In this episode, we'll continue our expedition into the peculiar ecosystem of modern marketing, a place where funnels leak, journeys loop, and every perfectly rational decision was made by a committee at 4:57 on a Friday afternoon.
Well done, everybody. Time for the pub, I feel.
So settle in with your beverage of choice, ideally something brewed by a machine that looks like it could pilot a small spacecraft, and prepare to navigate the swirling nebula of KPIs, creative chaos, and the eternal quest for cut-through. Because after all, this is the Overthinker's Guide to Modern Marketing. And together we shall boldly overthink episode 2 with the enthusiasm of a marketer discovering a new analytics dashboard.
Episode 2, Starting a Business and Building a Brand, or
A mostly harmless guide to doing the impossible poorly at first.
So starting a business is a lot like setting off into space with half a plan and a strong belief that you'll figure out the oxygen situation later. It begins with an idea usually at 2 o'clock in the morning. It seems so brilliant you wonder why no one else has done it. By 9 o'clock in the morning you realise precisely why no one else has done it, but by then it's too late. You've told someone, possibly on LinkedIn, and that's how it starts.
Step 1, consistency, or how to do the same thing repeatedly without going mad.
Consistency is the least glamorous yet most powerful force in the universe. It's right up there with gravity and the queue at Greg's. So Casey Neistat made a video every day for 800 days. That's not inspiration, that's an endurance sport.
Well done, that man. Well done.
But it worked. Because consistency compounds, just like interest, but for humans who don't sleep enough. Do something 100 times, get a little better each time, and by the end of it, you're not 100 times better, no, you're 13,800 times better. Apparently, maths may vary depending on coffee intake, but you get what I mean.
Step 2, resilience, otherwise known as not giving up when everything's on fire.
Nvidia nearly went bankrupt before becoming a $4 trillion company. Their founder mortgaged his house, which, to be clear, is not a business strategy, but it does demonstrate an important point. Suffering and success are annoyingly related. Resilience is what happens when your plans collapse, your emails bounce, and your Wi-Fi dies, and you think, yes, but maybe tomorrow will be better.
Step 3, obsession, a mild form of productive madness.
The best founders are a bit obsessed. YouTuber Mr. Beast spent years making videos no one watched, but kept on improving them anyway. That's the secret. Not views, not money, just a slightly worrying level of dedication to your craft. This sort of commitment usually reserved for monks or cats staring at invisible ghosts. Obsession, when it's done right, becomes contagious. It's what separates those who dabble from those who quietly build empires while everyone else is updating their status on LinkedIn.
Step 4, weirdness, the universe rewards it.
Rick Rubin says the audience comes last, which is another way of saying stop trying to please everyone, you only annoy the interesting ones. The great brands and great humans are unapologetically odd. They make things that reflect who they are, not who they think they should be, and oddly enough, that's what makes people fall in love with them.
Step 5. Simplicity, because 3 buttons is too many.
Steve Jobs once told his team that even one button on the iPhone was too many. Somewhere, a bunch of designers cried. But he was right. Simplicity isn't about having less, it's about meaning more. Try this. Each morning, pick 3 things that actually matter. Not 30, not 300, 3. Then do them. You'll be amazed how much less chaotic the universe feels.
The odd conclusion. Starting a business is ridiculous.
The truth is, starting a business is ridiculous. Utterly, profoundly ridiculous. It ranks somewhere between teaching a goldfish to tap dance and attempting to negotiate with a printer that insists that it is out of ink, thank you very much, even when you can clearly see it isn't. And yet, astonishingly, it's also magnificent. You will, in the course of your entrepreneurial adventure, question your sanity, your finances, your life choices, your spreadsheet, and on particularly bleak afternoons, your Wi-Fi provider, who will swear blind that everything is working perfectly while your connection behaves like it's been routed through a damp sock on Mars. You'll fail. You'll learn. Then you'll fail better. Then you'll wonder why no one warned you that failing better still feels quite a lot like, well, failing. But here's the quietly wonderful thing. Iconic brands are not born out of certainty. Certainty is dreadfully overrated. It's the sort of thing that you might expect from tax forms or androids with suspiciously calm voices.
Yes, you can afford to buy a rocket ship, Dave.
Iconic brands emerge from a gloriously stubborn refusal to quit. From people who look at the absurdity of the universe squarely in the eye and say, yes, this is a bit mad, but I'm going to do it anyway. From a quiet, persistent belief that, despite the chaos, the doubt, the misbehaving printer, the whole endeavour might just be worth it. And more often than not, it is. Thank you for listening. And before we go, I'd just like to bring up this little brief reminder of galactic importance. If at this moment you are feeling a little bit like the universe has misplaced its instruction manual, don't panic. The good people at CAM, the Campaign Against Living Miserably, are rather better at these things than the universe generally is. They exist so that when life feels unnecessarily complicated or alarmingly simple in all the wrong ways, you've got someone to talk to who won't respond with cryptic cosmic metaphors or suggestions involving herbal tea. They're there to listen, to help, and occasionally to remind you that you are, despite mounting evidence to the contrary, doing far better than you think. So if you or someone you know needs support, head to their website at thecalmzone.net. Because the universe may be absurd, but you don't have to face it on your own. I think it's time to bring this episode of the podcast to a close. So until next time, stay skeptical, stay alert, and for the love of marketing, question the tagline. And if you've enjoyed this episode or didn't, let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Until next time, cheers.